All right, there are some times in life when you have
known knowns and that there are known unknowns, but there's also unknown unknowns. Things we don't know that we don't know.
What?
And when it comes to the Baltimore Ravens, they stick to their plan and they stick to what they know. With the law of free agency upon us and everyone just sitting around waiting for any NFL news, about an hour ago, the Baltimore Ravens have re-signed Kyle Van Noy with Jadeveon Clowney signing a 2-year deal with the Carolina Panthers. The Ravens were left kind of stuck in this sticky situation, but of course they do not panic because they love waiting to the end and making moves that fall upon them. Now, while some of the other better free agents possibly have already been signed, as Ravens fans, we kind of knew the Ravens were going to actively pursue Kyle Van Noy. They re-signed him to a 2-year extension. Now the Baltimore Ravens are hoping that lightning can strike twice in the same place. Signing Kyle Van Noy after week 3 of last season, he came in, recorded 30 tackles and had a career high 9 sacks. But at 33 years old, can he replicate this? Being that he signed early, he has to attend training camp, something that he said he really did not like to do. So with the training camp and the extra games, will he be able to hold up throughout the season and give the production that the Ravens need? Now, with one thing being certain and 2 things being for sure, this kind of eliminates a need that the Ravens have in the upcoming draft. This way, the Ravens can focus on other positions, but they still may need to get a younger edge just in case some of the other players that they have do not work out. This was a decent sign, and it's not a splashy move, but he was very productive for the Ravens. He played every game and he was a tone setter. I've said all along that the Ravens need players that are winners, and he has won Super Bowls. So he's been to the mountaintop and back, and that championship pedigree can rub off on the younger players. Also, if he can maintain his high level, we have him for another extra year, and hopefully he can do it at age 34. And don't get me wrong, I do like this signing. I'm not saying it's the best, it's definitely not the worst.
Not the best, not the worst.
But can he replicate what he did last year without having Jadeveon Clowney beside him, without having a Patrick Queen to cover up mistakes? The one thing that I hope that he learned was how to keep his cool, because let's not forget, during the AFC Championship game, they kind of flustered him and he got a personal foul penalty off of some real dumb stuff. Like they always say, no news is good news, but in this case, this is actually good news. The Ravens brought back a key piece to their #1 ranked scoring defense, a key contributor, someone that actually got sacks. And we need all the familiarity that we can get because we have a new defensive coordinator, we have a bunch of missing pieces. So bringing back someone that knows the organization, knows the culture, knows the building, knows the coaches is a big plus. So hopefully this will not be the end of the Ravens signing players before the draft. This way, in my opinion, it will free up some draft picks to use as capital to move up and get a better player. Now, I know that they say that this is a talent-rich draft when it comes to offensive linemen, cornerbacks, and wide receivers. But in my humble opinion, why not try to go out there and get the best player possible? Don't sit back and wait for someone to fall to you, because this is the philosophy that we use during free agency. We're not going to go out and make that splashy signing. We're going to wait and see how the board falls to us. Sometimes we get lucky, sometimes we do not. And in a year where we've had so many free agent departures, this is the year that EDC has to nail the draft. He has to get players that are going to come in and contribute right away. I don't care if you're a 1st round, a 4th round, a 6th round pick. We need players that can contribute right now. We don't need them in year 4. We don't need them in year 3. We don't need them in year 5. They need to contribute now because we are on the cusp of winning a world championship. And unfortunately, the Baltimore Ravens have a lot of spaces to fill. We let 9.5 sacks walk out the door with Jadeveon Clowney. We let some sacks go when we let Patrick Queen go over to the rival Steelers. We let sacks go, even though he did not play last year. We let sacks go out the door when we released Tyus Bowser. And I know if some of you watched this channel before, you can tell I am extremely passionate about some of the things that go on. Some may call it negative, some may call it critical, call it what you may. So it just seems to me there have been so many years wasted on projects, on picks that did not work out. So this is why I'm so adamant that EDC needs to start cooking and show his work. Now, he may have had some successful picks in the past, but I need him to get it right now. The time that we actually make it to the AFC Championship game and we're trying to build on this momentum, of course it coincides with the Ravens having over 20 free agents. They've lost quite a few. There's still some more. And in actuality, the Ravens lost another player today in center Sam Mustipher. Not a big loss, but still, it was a player on the team that has since moved on. We let a lot of talent walk out of this door. Now, some of them deservedly, they may not have needed to stay. Some may have needed to go. But all I know is we need to replenish and get better. I like the signing. I think it's a decent one. But now is the time we need to focus. We need to hone in, get that eagle eye focus, and start to concentrate more on the offensive side of the ball. A lot of you are going to say, hey, we got the whole draft. We got 9 picks. I saw your mock draft. I saw what you drafted. I saw who you picked. You got a lot of offensive players. And that's true. I did pick mostly offensive players. I think I picked 5 out of the 9, 6 out of the 9, if I'm not mistaken. But we cannot continue to rely on rookies. So hopefully we'll plug in some holes after the draft. So we just have to sit back and wait to see what happens after the June 1st cuts. Once again, we have to hope and pray that a decent player gets released and the Ravens can actually go out and sign them. Because just because somebody gets released does not mean the Ravens have enough money to lure them into Baltimore. And all players that are released aren't bums and scrubs that are looking for discounted prices. We offer that a lot, you know. We come in low and work our way up. You know, we start really low. Hopefully they're like, maybe in the middle. We're like, But to me, we've said it before. There needs to be a philosophical shift in the environment, in the philosophy, in what goes on at one winning drive. We can wish upon a star that this defense can do exactly what it did last season, but the way that it's looking, it may not. Kyle Van Noy helps to bring it back up a step to get it closer to what it was, but for them to do what they did to get that triple crown, once again, maybe far-fetched. So if not now, when? When are we going to invest in the offense? And I'm not trying to take anything away from Kyle Van Noy and what he brings to the table, but just asking for a little bit more. Am I spoiled? I really am. I've enjoyed a winning organization, a winning culture for many years. Now I want to be spoiled in championships. I have imagined Lamar winning multiple championships, but he cannot do it alone, and he cannot do it with just defense. Kyle Van Noy, I salute you for coming back. EDC, kudos. But now is the time for us to go all in on offense and get this thing done. All right, it's enough rambling for now. Once again, I appreciate you all for hanging out with me. Make sure you share this video, like, subscribe, tap, hit that notification bell, and let's get these numbers up. Let's get these views up. Let's get these likes up. I'm 58 subs away from 4,000. That is the next goal on my totem pole, and I'd appreciate it if you all help me get there. Also, if you want to help support the channel, make sure you go over to patreon.com/ROUG and become a patron. Got a lot of things in the works, a lot of things going on. Actually, this Saturday, we are taking the patrons out, myself, Lunch Break Hot Take. We're taking the patrons out to do a tour of M&T Bank Stadium. After that, we're going to hang out for a little bit. So come be a part of what we got going on. We are actively growing, and you do not want to miss out. So until next time, don't forget, and I'm out.